Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be unboxing a new game from Brotherwise Games. That is going to be Super Boss Monster. We're no longer regular bosses, we are now super bosses. Congratulations on the promotion. So this is their new Brotherwise Games' newest release. So we're going to go ahead, unbox this, as well as take a look at some of the other components from the Kickstarter. This is my personal Kickstarter copy right here. So we're going to take a look at this and check out what is in this game. So let's go ahead first and take a look at the box art right here. And I do wish that I had my old Super Nintendo game boxes. I have tons of my old games, but I do, this is just giving me a lot of nostalgic flashbacks to seeing these games in stores back in the day. So we got Super Boss Monster, the super powered dungeon building card game. It is for 1 to 4 players, 30 minutes to play the game, and in order to slay heroes coming into your dungeon and trying to start stuff, you have to be 13 and up. I don't make the rules, I just read boxes terribly. There is that side of the box, there is that side of the box, there is this side of the box, and finally that side of the box right there. The back of the box, we have Super Boss Monster, designed by Johnny O'Neill and Hayden Dillard. Play the next evolution of the board game that's captured the hearts of board gamers for over a decade. In this dungeon building card game, you'll draft rooms and spells, slay heroes, and sabotage opponents in the pursuit of being the best boss monster in the land. Draft rooms and spells to build your dungeon, send your minion to enact your nefarious will in town, lure and slay heroes before they visit landmarks, upgrade your dungeon rooms with +1 counters, includes an all-new solo mode. So that is everything on the back of the box there. As far as flavor text goes, Boss Monster is playable as a standalone game with 100% compatibility with all previous Boss Monster sets. So that means that this game right here is compatible with these expansions right here, as well as all of the base games and everything right here. We got all this going on. So we have all of the Boss Monster things out right now. I'm not going to go over the old content at all. Most of that I've gotten from years of collecting, as well as, I don't think it was the Dungeon Cart Kickstarter. I think it was the Overboss Kickstarter. I grabbed a few of the things that I was missing at the time that I could grab. So that's most of what that is over there, as well as some promo cards and stuff like that. The reason I show that is for the storage box later on. But we're going to go ahead and get this open and see what we've got inside. So again, I really do enjoy this game, especially the artwork, just because the old school pixel art. I mean, I would play those style games, even now, these style games, over some stuff that's coming out nowadays, just because, I'm an old man, and that's basically where I peaked in gaming. But there is the top of the box without the glare right there. So let's go ahead and open this up. Let's see what we've got. So first off, we've got a nice large rule book right here that fills up the entire box, similar to the way the other rule books kind of fill the box. So we've got the rule book here, and we've got our components list off to the side. We've got our overview, hero card quick view on the side right here, game setup using the new board mat, whatever you want to call it, because I think we have both. We've got steps to set up the game, gameplay at a glance. We've got sequence of play off to the side here. We've got the new town phase off right over here, market and minion over here. Got the build phase, minion phase, bait phase, and then we have the adventure phase. End of turn, anatomy of the board and cards, so we've got that going on here. Boss card anatomy, hero card anatomy, counters combining with other expansions, so we've got the rules for doing that. So the main rules up here, how to put items in there, explorer, treasury type, which I believe is it's crash landing stuff right there. Coins here. And then the new solo mode, which I will probably be doing hopefully soon on the channel when I get some time to do that. And then we've got the glossary back here. And turn progression, town actions, all that. So we've got our rule book here. We'll open it back up to the components page. And no, that's not the components page. Gameplay, sequence of play. Where's the components page? Did I miss that? Oh, it was right the first page right there. All right, so we got that. Next thing we have is Super Boss Monster accessories right here. So we've got, let's say, visit brotherwisegames.shop to find sleeves, neoprene mats, and wooden tokens for your Boss Monster in Super Boss Monster games. And if you're a Super Boss Monster fan, you need to check out the Big Box and Ultimate Storage Solution. We will look at that here soon. That's kind of a little bit preview of what that's going to look like inside. And then the other side is, oh, this looks like a mat of some sort. Yeah, this is the Launchpad map. So this looks like it is the extension for, I thought it was an advertisement at first looking at this side, but apparently this is the extension for the mat. So a little weird that it's not an actual game board, but we'll take a look at that here in a minute. So we'll put that over off to the side. We've got some promo stuff right here. Looks like for Overboss, and I believe this card right here is for Adulthood off to the side. I don't know the way the camera's cropped. I don't know if you can see Adulthood. Right here where I'm pointing is Dungeon Cart, and then over here, if you can see this white sliver, again, I don't know how this is cropped, that's Adulthood. So I believe these cards are for Adulthood. We'll take a look at those here in a little bit. Let's get back into the stuff for this game, though. So here is all of our tokens. These are those +1 counters that's talked about on the back of the board. So these are regular damage counters here, and then we have 8 hero health counters right there. We've got, let's see, I don't see it on here, the first player marker. And then right here we've got the 4 minion, looks like 4 minion homes. There's probably more minions in here. And then right here we have 5 different markers representing the 5 classes in the game there. So there's the other side of those. So those +1 counters go up to +3s, and then those +2s go up to -2s right there. And then you can see the other side of the minion homes there. So that is what we've got there for that. And then we've got more cards. Not sure exactly what those are. It is shiny though. So we will open that up here in a little bit. I've got more cards here, more cards here. So this looks this part right here, even though it's connected the whole way, this looks, you know, very, very similar tray to like regular Boss Monsters tray. And the well is pretty deep. You should be able to sleeve cards there. Little bit of room in there to move around. So this should be able to hold sleeved cards perfectly fine. And then we've got our board right here. So we'll put this here for a second. And we'll take out the board. And it's a 2-sided board. Yeah, so this is a 2-sided board. So this is the solo mode board. So that doesn't utilize that. So that is how that goes. And I just love how this looks, because this, as far as the town board and everything goes here, it makes me think a lot of Overboss, the way the tiles and everything are set up for that. So you can definitely tell that a lot of the art from that, design-wise, kind of went into this. And then we take a look, and you can kind of tell here off to the side. Let's see if it's the same on the other side here. Oh, no, it's not. The other side, it looked like it had like a little piece of the road. But right here is your regular side of the board. And there's how everything is set up there. You got your temple, your stadium, library, your hideout, your tavern right here. And then this right here gets added on like that. You can kind of see how everything lines up. I do wish this was an actual just board. I will say that, not just a flimsy piece right here. Let's check and see what else we got in the box. But and there's that. So there's nothing else hiding in the box. So, but yeah, as far as that goes, it would have been cool to have the like an actual board piece right here. For whatever reason, they didn't do that, and that's perfectly fine. And I don't remember, it's been a while since I looked at the updates and everything. But anyway, so this is our board for 5 to 6 players here. But again, like art-wise, this looks really nice. I do like the Zelda nod right there. So yeah, this, like, I can just sit here and stare at this thing for a while just because of how cool this artwork looks. But we don't have time for that. We're gonna get going with other stuff. So this is going to be right here our 4 minions, as well as some other things. Gel. We got our 4 minion meeples. They are the same. So that is the, looks like red or orange one right there. And we've got purple right here, and then like a teal blue right there, and finally yellow right there. And then this is our first player marker right here. So if we look in the board here, this goes, looks like right there, and then that's how all this goes in. So that is how that's going to go in right there. And then I'm assuming these coins, which we haven't looked at yet, say level up on them. That's what these coins look like. So one side says level up right here. Very shiny. And then the other side says, if I could read, it says something I can't read. And not because of not because of eyesight, just the words themselves. But that's what the other side of the coin looks like right there. So yeah, these are pretty cool coins. I like when they put metal coins in games. I like, you guys have seen many unboxings that I've done where we just get tons of metal coins. So that is going to probably go right there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards now. We're going to go ahead and look at the regular cards for the game first. Because that's what we're going to do first. That's Rooms, that's Epic Heroes, and whatnot. So let's go ahead and take a look at this pack first. Right here, we'll just show off a couple of the cards. Again, I'm not going to go through every single card because we got a few things to go through, and I don't want this video to be super long. We got room cards right here. Yep, room deck, room deck, room deck, room deck, and then we get the spell cards. So, there is Cursed Statue right there. And I will say that one of the things I do like about this is that the way these cards, it looks very, very, very similar to a regular boss monster card. Even in fact, it is still using the regular boss monster logo and everything on the back. So when you mix and match these cards and everything, you're not going to have to worry about necessarily, unless there's like coloration differences, you're not necessarily going to be worrying about differences in the card backs when you're drawing. But one of the things I do like about this is that all the identifier on the bottom of the card for what set this is coming from is not like in the artwork kind of thing. For whatever reason, I have a very hard time looking at the or figuring out what sets and everything the regular boss monster cards went, especially the older sets. So I do like the fact that they designed it to where you can actually see, through all the cards, you can actually see what set it belongs to. So that is pretty nice right there. We got the Cursed Statue, we got the Bookworm right here, the shadow there. But yeah, we got Boardwalk, which they're going still with the tradition of doing alternate artwork for the 2 cards. You can see the bridge is up here, the bridge is down there. So we got that. Wind Up Trap, same thing. Artwork looks so different. Firebomb Storage. The bombs on this one are lit on one and not the other. Mousetrap. Oof. Doors. So a lot of different fantasy doors on that one. Dangling Anvil. One's falling, one's not. So we got that. Captive Black Hole, the Gauntlet, False Art Gallery, another False Art Gallery. You can tell the art is changing a little bit right there. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff in this game. Kobold Union, Obelisk, Demonic Law Firm, The Inside Out, Subspace Path. Oof. So again, definitely an art change right there, not just a little subtle. So we got that going on. Minion Arena is a trap room. A few copies of that. That's pretty cool. Again, I'm showing these out of order, but you can definitely tell that the minion is rising. So that's cool. Again, just showing off the way the artwork looks on that. We got co-op mode, where we're getting spell decks right now. A counterfeit map. So yeah, I can go through all these cards. I don't necessarily spoil everything. It's stealth. That's pretty cool. It's just a box. That's... Oof, the references. Chill. Yeah, this is pretty cool right here. And we've got the Super card right here. And we have new epic heroes. Cleric, Priestess, Cleric, Fighter, Champion, Fighter, Mage, Archivist, Thief, Outlaw, and we have a Bar Fighter. So there's that right there. So that's pretty cool. And then, so let's go ahead and take a look at the other card pack and see what's in there. All right. I am failing. There we go. All right. So got that right there. And so this continues. We've got the Cleric again. Cleric, Initiate, Cleric, Fighter, Gladiator. These are all the regular heroes. There's our Fighter card right there. And then a Mage. Looks like a Santa Mage. So that's what that looks like. This is a reference to something. Right there. You know. So we've got another Mage, Researcher, Thief, Criminal. Looks like a Batman villain right there. So we've got that going on. Thief. Is this a Pokemon reference of some sort? Looks like. I don't know. Layabout. And so we've got these are our bosses. Yes, we have our bosses. We've got the Lost one right here. And we've got his ooziness. And then Cerebellus. And then Emperor Dodo. The dodo bird. We got Malice. And we've got Raboba. And Queen Croak. Now, I feel like a lot of this was extras from the Kickstarter. Pluto, Arcadeus, Chaos, Pomelo, Shadowful. Again, I didn't want to show every single one of them off. I don't want to spoil things. We got Porcus Doom. So that is going to be an example of a bunch of the bosses in the game. And then we've got more room, Psychedelic Stall, which reminds me of Charlie Brown. Right there. Let's see. Summoning Circle, Reanimator, Emporium, Support Class, Ghastly Callbox. That's awesome. For all you Doctor Who fans out there. Harpy Roost, Count's Hall. That's pretty cool. Endless Staircase, Shroomin Farm. Oh, that's not good. It is growing some stuff there. And then it just goes away. It goes after him. So that's pretty cool. The Break Room. I'm pretty sure this is an Office reference right here. Again, not trying to show everything off. But spilled his chili, or whatever that was, everywhere. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. Guard Rabbit, Frozen Monster. Like I said, I can show all these off. Monster Dojo, jousting aerial, monster truck. We'll show the monster truck off, at least one of them. Actually, jungle. That's what we're going to show off right there. That's pretty funny. And then Spell Slime Nursery, Traveling Library. Oh, that's pretty funny. That's that one. And then, Brain Sucker Salon and Puzzle Door. Yeah, so again, and then it loops back around because there's another cursed statue, and apparently they went together because these are the two cursed statues. The difference being that this one has red eyes as far as the artwork goes. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so that is all of the main cards in the game right here. We'll put the cards away real fast. And we'll open up this other little pack of cards and see what is in here. Let's see. It is sealed, so so let's go ahead and get this opened up. All right, there we go. Alright, so this is the only shiny one right here. So we got Kirix, which is a Red Eyes Gold Dragon. You can see how shiny it is. And then we've got Paper Croak, and then right there. So Paper Mario reference. Horrible Nuisance, Unnamed Swan Boss. So these must be a bunch of the different things from the Kickstarter. Yeah, I just had to look it up. This is specifically the Kickstarter pack for it. So these are all specific to the Kickstarter, because the Paper Croak and the Unnamed Swan are like the first two that they mentioned in there. Yeah, so they listed what's going in the actual pack, what's actually going in the game. So anyway, so we've got the narrator, Terry Turncoat right here, which for some reason to me looks like Fat Cat from Chip and Dale. I know it's probably referencing something else, and a lot of this stuff is probably referencing things I'm just not seeing. I wish there was a way, I don't know if I don't think the wiki does, that you can just see what this is actually referencing and whatnot. So, but anyway, Feaster right here, that's pretty cool. And then Oculus right there, a new Belladonna, Rightful Ruler right there. And then we've got looks like a regular version of Kirix right here. So let's go back and look here. So yeah, they are the same card, just this one is shiny and this one is not. So that is nice that they give you a non-shiny one. That way you can just put that one away if you want. Sandstorm Adulthood right here, referencing the other game that they make. And then another spell card, Disaster, Firebolt, Easter Egg right here. And then we have a dual type Adults right here. Mirror Monk, Owl Brothers, and Shorelings right here. There's the Owl Brothers. That's pretty nice. And then Shorelings. So yeah, that's going to be everything that's in that Kickstarter pack that the game comes with. So we'll put this, what is that, Shorelings? We'll put that right here. That way it's out of the way for a moment. And then now we will go ahead and open this other pack of promo cards here. I feel like, though, some of these cards I already got, but that might be wrong on the boss card. So, so we've got the Porcus Doom card for Boss Monster Duel. And specifically it says Duel on the back there, so it'd be for that game. So I got that one, and then we've got the Boss Career card for Adulthood. And then we've got Super for Dungeon Cart. It's a C item here. So that is that. So yeah, that is going to be all the special things that came in the box there. So that is everything that came with the main game. So let's take a look at some other stuff real quick. I know I'm like delaying, but let's take a look at some other things in here that are not the storage box yet. So other two things I got right here is the reprints pack here, and then I think this is the portable power deck. It was offered on the, I want to say the Pledge Manager. Some of this stuff you guys have probably already seen for that one, but I know this is going to be the main one that people are going to want to look at. So let's go ahead and open this one up. And oh no, the value is going to go away. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get this opened here, so that way, and let's get a knife out and do it. There we go. All right. And we'll take a look at what is in this one. Now, again, these are reprints that I think were redesigned to match newer printings of Boss Monster. So yeah, you can definitely tell down here, again, compared to like first edition ones that you can actually read set numbers and stuff like that, and copyright and everything on the bottom. So that is pretty cool. So yeah, I was just double checking on the Boss Monster wiki page. So a lot of these cards are going to be different promo cards that released in the past that basically went into the thing. It even says on the packaging right here, the pack includes 22 hard to find Boss Monster cards, all with abilities and art updated to be compatible with the latest editions of Boss Monster and Super Boss Monster. Some of these I recognize because I had them. For example, Overworld Gate, I'm pretty sure came with, I can't remember the name of the game, Overboss. Finish Line was a promo card that goes from with Dungeon Cart. I think it came with that Kickstarter. Haste as well came with that. The one item card in here, Go Kart, came from that. So again, there's a couple things that if you had all these promo cards, you didn't necessarily need to purchase the pack. I had 0 of them. I had the recent ones, but I didn't have any from like the original Kickstarters and stuff like that, and everything. So this is pretty cool to have. So I'm not necessarily going to go through all of these. There's Anorak right there. So stuff like that. So I will be going through here and just seeing what else I need to get technically, but I'm happy with having all these cards in my collection. So that is pretty cool. So we'll put this over yonder, and then the last thing we will take a look at from these things, not the last thing total, this is the power-up stuff right here. And again, you can tell these cards didn't get necessarily updated as far as like artwork a little bit. I mean, they did kind of, but you can tell definitely like down here, again, I always talk about this part, but you can tell down here that the set numbers and stuff like that are in the artwork and not in the border, which again, some of the cards to me, like this one right here, is just a little hard to see what set numbers and everything are on there. So I like the way they set it up now with the cards and everything. I wish I can get sets that just personally that weren't like that, or that were updated Warship. So I like this set only because of the fact that everything looks like old school Game Boy. Leviathan Egg, I got that reference. So yeah, these cards are pretty cool. So yeah, that's what they have in there. So this is basically the main, we'll put that back right there. This is basically like the portable power cards here. So yep, War Turtle right there. So you can, everything's that green color that our Game Boys were constantly in back in the day. So that is pretty nice. So I'm going to go put the board away. Not away, but we're going to put it over here off to the side, because now we are going to look at the storage box, because I think that's the last thing to look at. We also have the playmats here. I want to open them up with the storage box, so we'll go ahead and do that. So this is the Boss Monster storage box, and as you can see, it says Boss Monster, not Super Boss Monster, anything like that. It is Boss Monster on here. So there is what the cover front there looks like. If you look up here, we've got the sides, has all your favorite bosses every which way on there, and then on the back it shows the Boss Monster big box. So comes with 24 exclusive cards, and then it shows all this is basically showing what it stores, not that this is going to be in this game, because this, none of the stuff, this would be super heavy, because I think the main game is actually heavier than this at the moment. So there's all the games that you can put into your game there. There's all the stuff there that it comes with, and or not comes with, but that you can put in there. So let us go ahead and get this opened and see what we've got here. So I think I've talked about this in a couple other unboxings where I get a storage box for something that I own to put all the things in there. Thing is, I like the artwork in like the regular games, and I like keeping stuff in their boxes with that, and I don't know why. So it's going to be very interesting. There's what it looks like without the wrap. It's going to be very interesting for me to open this up and put everything in it, and then figure out what to do with like all these boxes, kind of thing. So yeah, that's a me thing, because there's a couple other games where I've moved stuff into their larger box, and I still have the old boxes lying around somewhere. So that's a me thing. So I just want to, if you feel my pain on that, let me know. All right, so there is the box right there, and that is what is in the box. We're going to put the box off to the side, and I will point out before we get going here that there is pretty nice artwork, card artwork and everything like that on the sides of the box. So I don't want to actually look. I always want to look at that one, but you can see what it looks like here, and that is what we've got there. So that is pretty cool. And then we've got the Super Boss Monster set combination guide when playing with when combining the cards included in the big box. The big box card pack with Super Boss Monster and other expansions. Use these guidelines along with the combination rules from the back of the Super Boss Monster rulebook for a more balanced game. Remember the golden rule: you only use one of set of heroes, no matter how many sets of boss monster or Super Boss Monster you are combining to play. How many sets of boss monster? How many Super Boss Monster? So there's that. Let's see. And then the back right here, if playing with everything together, remember you only play with one set of heroes. So yeah, it's still only one set of heroes. And then it tells you everything to do. So that's pretty cool. So it gives you some guidelines there on how to set everything up properly. Alright, so we've got, this is our wells of stuff. So are these labeled at all? No, these are just black boxes here with a spacer there, and mat and some tokens. So let's go ahead and take a look over here first. So this is the first well of things, and they give you two new, I'm not going to open them up, they give you two more of the minions. So we have green and white to go with 5 to 6 player, because this has the components for like 5 to 6 player boss monster in it. And then a spot right here to put all of them in. So that's pretty nice. And your first player marker. So that's what we got here. Let me zoom up here for it. I don't know if you can tell right there. So there's all the spots for those things. Let's go ahead and close that up there. And then in here, we've got cards. We've got dividers. Unlabeled dividers, it looks like, but that is fine. And then we've got those home minion homes right here, so in green and white, so that sticks with that. Again, I don't see anything. We'll get to some stuff. So we got some cards right here, which is the 24 exclusive cards for this set, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. We got right here, we've got our hearts. These are going to be wooden meeple-y pieces right there. So those are hearts right there. So this basically replaces all the cardboard we got from here. Do I have that out still? Nope, I don't. Not to where I can see. Oh, it's right here. So basically what is in this baggie right here is going to replace all of this stuff right here. So you don't need that with this, so that's pretty cool. So again, anytime you can upgrade your components is always a plus right there. So we got that. We've got this mat right here, which I believe fixes a problem I have right there to a point. We've got this mat right here, which is awesome. And then let's just make sure that I don't have anything else in here. Nope, nothing else is in here, so yeah, these are just gonna be a bunch of card wells and whatnot. So yeah, that is what we're gonna do there. And I'm pretty sure, is it the back, just the back of the box? Yeah, the bottom of the box is all that really goes into how to store everything. So anyway, we'll take a look at that here in a bit. So but let's go ahead, and that's our box right there. And then we got that. This is for, pretty sure looking at the back of the box, this well right here is for the game board right here. So we can take this and put that there. So that's what we got for that right there. So we'll place that here and out of the way, and we'll place, get that more out of the way, and we'll place this in here with that. So we've got that, and then place these over here for right now. And because I want to take a look at these mats, so these are neoprene mats that the box came with. So we'll roll that out. So it has solo mode on one side and regular mode on the other side. So there is our nice mat. I like that. And then same high quality. And we've got, and it's just one-sided. So curl would have to be fixed, but yeah, there is our board using the neoprene mats. And again, it's been on a boat, so it curled up like this, so it's fine right now. But yeah, that is pretty nice. I do like the fact that this is an option. I still do wish that this flimsy piece of paper was an actual board. But again, I'm going to be playing with this more so than anything, so that is going to be that. So, breaking away from this box real quick and going to some other things, we do have right here, sorry about the noise, the actual player mats. Now, in the original Boss Monster, they had this play mat right here, which was basically made for 2 people, and you had everything in the middle, and then you had cards for both, like one player on one side, one player on the other side. So that's what this was. This is going to give you 4 mats and basically 1 for each player. So we'll go ahead and open these up too, because again, these are all going to go into that box right there in front of us. So there's that, and then we'll take this rubber band off and take a look at the first one. Yeah. So that is pretty cool. So you got your mat right here. You got your boss. You got your dungeon entrance and rooms. You got your souls. You got your wounds. Everything here. I believe that is right there going to correspond to. Let's go look at this one. This is the blue one. Yep. So we got blue. We got purple. Corresponding to that. So that is pretty nice, and like I love the fact that the artwork is different on each one, that they're not just like the same ones. These are for the 5 to 6 player ones, which by the looks of it, I know a lot of crunching in this part of the video. So by the excuse me, by the looks of it, yeah, this goes more with Crash Landing. So it's like all the more futuristic stuff right here, and green right there. So yeah, these are the mats for the game, and these look beautiful. I love these neoprene mats. I mean, I think they're a different quality. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, I can already tell. This is what the old mat looked like right here. So you had heroes, room spells right there. Again, this is the old mat. It is a lot thinner. It doesn't have the border around it, anything like that. So this is, to me, definitely an upgrade from the original mat, and the fact that I can have, you know, my own stuff. I don't have to necessarily be across from it, especially if we do a gameplay of this here. We can have these set up however we want on the board, so, or on the table, so that is pretty cool. Yeah, I really like these. Let's go ahead and take out the rest of them just to show off the artwork. So there is the yellow one right there, and this is the, I'm not two-sided right now. And this is, looks like the red one right here, looking like a big old hellscape there. So we got that, and then the final, I think this is the white one. Yep, white one, again, still looking all crash landing-y. These don't like, no, I was going to say they don't connect artwork-wise, just because I'm looking at this, how this is over here. So that is pretty cool. I like this a lot. I'm just making sure that the artwork doesn't continue from one to the other. I mean, technically, on the 5 and 6 player one, I mean, technically that artwork does connect. So, because this rock almost matches that one, that rock almost matches that one. That's pretty cool. If that is the case, and I'm not just seeing something I want to see, that is pretty darn cool right there. So anyway, all these mats look pretty awesome. I like them. Yeah, we're gonna be enjoying this a lot. I'm rambling. I realize that now because I'm in thought of looking at the artwork and everything, and I'm not talking to you anymore. So there is that right there. So we've got these. What? I just knocked everything over. All right, so we're losing it here at the end. The last thing we are going to take a look at right here, last two things we're going to take a look at is the dividers, and then we'll take a look at the exclusive cards for this box. And I don't think there's anything else that I need. So there's these are actually pretty nice, pretty thick, different artwork on them, so you can separate your games however you wish. There's that, and again, they're, you know, pretty sturdy looking. They're not like flimsy or anything like that. Ooh, look. So yeah, these are pretty cool. I like these. Oh, D&D nerds right there. So yeah, I like this a lot. I don't know if the intent, again, because they're not necessarily labeled, you can label them however you want, so I don't know if a lot of people are going to like put them away by set. I don't know if people are going to put them away by like room, monster, hero, epic hero item, that kind of thing. So I'd be very interested to see how you guys are all putting your stuff and organizing your stuff in here, proper way and all of that stuff. And then finally, let's take a look at the exclusive pack for this here storage box, as I try not to rip the actual cards inside. All right, so we've got bosses. We've got Ven right here, and we've got Duke Zarkon. So we'll go ahead and look at Ven right there, and then the Duke right here, and then we got Space Phantoms. Are these separated by? No, they're not. All right, so we got Space Phantoms. So we're basically adding Explorer stuff on here. Electrical room, a moon door right here, and then slot machine, advanced trap room right here. This, to me, I mean, we've got a couple of different versions of it. It reminds me of like the isn't there like a slot machine in like a Mario game, like Mario 2 and or Mario Land 2? One of the Mario 2s. We got that. We got a golden golem with different artwork. We got the bear market. Bunch of bears. It's going to be our spell cards. Then we've got heroes. We've got a cadet, and we've got an admiral. Admiral looking like somebody. right there. And then we've got some item cards. So we've got Ancient Spellbook, a Skeleton Key right there. There. And then we've got Phantom Katana, Pure Soul, a Laser Wrench right there. And then on top of that, we've got mini bosses. We got the Concept Cavalier, Kerberos, Cerebrus, but in puppy form. Bubbler, got the Infiltrator, and we've got Bokbot right there. So yeah, I think that is everything for Super Boss Monster. I am going to probably be spending some time packing away the box here because all these mats, and everything like that should all fit in there the way they're advertising it. Only other thing that I didn't get for the game that I already technically had if you were on the Kickstarter was these coins. These are the coins from, I think they were selling them to use with Boss Monster 3 Rise of the Mini Bosses for the coins and everything like that. They're also the same coins for Dungeon Cart, so you can use them for both. I should have grabbed an extra set to keep one in here and one in there, but I didn't. So, but there is that, and there's those you can see. So, but yeah, that is going to be everything for Super Boss Monster. So I'd like to thank you guys for bearing with me in this almost hour-long video, possibly hour-long video, going over everything. I don't think I missed anything. I feel like I'm missing something. I didn't miss anything. There's nothing in the shipping box over there. I got everything. We are good. The only other thing, actually, yeah, that I'm looking at is I got all the sleeves. So I will be sleeving these cards and everything like that. So yeah, I'll be doing that right there, and I know you guys don't want to watch me doing that, so I'll be sleeving cards, putting them in the containers, all that stuff. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, checking it out. I'm excited to play. Hopefully we'll do some gameplay on this on the channel. I'll probably do a solo gameplay first, and then to see how that is, and then see what we can do about bringing some of the guys in for multiplayer game play, but we'll talk about that on the channel at a later time. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this unboxing, make sure to hit that like button and hit the notification bell to know when we have any other videos coming out, and make sure, as always, to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot for, you know, all that stuff. So thank you guys very much. I have been Eric. This has been Rockshire Gaming's look at Super Boss Monster, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.